Up, future billionaires, man? Shan here. Those billionaires tap in, man. I hope y'all feeling good. Hope y'all feeling great. If you've been here, you know what's going on. We back with another weekly analysis of GBPJPY. I really hope y'all been gaining some values from these videos, man. I don't do this just for myself. Of course, I do my markups on my own, but I'm doing this really just to give y'all value, just to give y'all the game of, you know, what I'm looking at, what's going on. And I've been studying OD to really like get this information out for y'all. So I really hope y'all tapping in, really hope y'all gaining some value. If you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get notified when we dropping content. Letting y'all know right now, I know I've been saying it, but it's some things happen, and man, I'm excited for what's to come next. We got some big things coming for the platform. Courses dropping within the next month or so, ebooks, audiobooks, all that good stuff. So make sure y'all hit the subscribe button to make sure y'all tap in. Also, make sure y'all join the Discord. The link is down below. But let's go ahead and get right into the video. Before I even, pull up my analysis on what I'm looking at, I just want to talk to y'all a little bit about mindset. When it comes to trading, you have to be dedicated to this process. I want y'all to know that it's definitely a learning curve to the process of trading, right? But once you get it down, once you really understand the ins and outs of what's going on, this is going to pay you for the rest of your life, right? Understand that this is going to pay you for the rest of your life. Whatever businesses you want to run, whoever family you want to help, whatever community you want to help, whatever, cars you want to buy, jewelry, flexes, all that good stuff is yours, right? Once you get this strategy down. So message to y'all, please stay down with this process. I know sometimes it can be difficult, learning as you're learning, right? Just want to be profitable quickly. I know instant gratification is something that we glorify, but everything ain't gonna happen for you instantly. And it's important to just stay committed and dedicated to the process while you're trying to get to that end destination. So please, not for me, but for yourself, stay down and dedicated to this process. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. I'm gonna pull up my screen for GJ, and we're gonna take a look at GJ, and what's happening. Today is April 16th. Today's April 17th. Today is definitely April 17th. It's Easter, so happy Easter to those who celebrate. Hope y'all, spending some time with the family, eating some good food. Whatever you got to do, man, get ready for the markets. Get ready for the markets, because we got some plays coming up, right? But let's go ahead and take a look at what GJ is doing. All right, so looking at the month, we about halfway through April. I hope you made some changes from March into April that's helping you just better yourself in general. Yeah, and just whatever you're doing, keep doing it and just 10x it. Just 10x whatever you're doing, right? But looking at GJ, let me turn some of this stuff off. We have some double bottoms that we've been seeing for a while. We saw this double bottom inside of the double bottom begin to play out. All right, so let's see what we're looking at for that. Right, so this is the double bottom that we're looking at. So overall, looking for GJ to move to the upside. Now, something that I always point out, right, is from high to low, this is all price in the downtrend, right? On our lower time frames, from this high point to this low point, this is all a downtrend, right? So let's see. All of this on our lower time frames is going to be price in the downtrend. If I drop down to, let's say, 4 hour, we're going to see, let's go daily. We'll see what? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? As price is coming down, right? So it's important to understand, right, when you're looking at your chart and trying to figure out what's going on, is to identify your structure, right? Where is market at right now? Where is it going? Where could it potentially be going? And that's really what we want to focus on and pay attention to, right? So from this high to this low was all price in the downtrend. From this low to this high on our lower time frames is what? Exactly. Price in the uptrend. Same thing from here, from this high to this low is what? Talk to me. Price in the downtrend. Okay. So now we have price here at this low. And if we think that this double bottom is going to be completed, what do we want to see? Right? We want to see price go from a low to a high. Okay, and notice the price to go from a low to a high, we're normally going to see some sort of reversal. Okay, some sort of reversal. And we can see right in here, right, to go from this low to move up, what do we see? I'm going to take this off. What do we see, right? This reversal here, low, high, low, boom, price is pushing up into a high to complete that higher time frame, low to high. Okay, so looking at this price right now, what type of move is price creating? Is this price buying or price selling? This box that I just highlighted, this is price buying. Okay, and what type of structure is buy? We're gonna see higher highs and higher lows. Now, just knowing that simply is going to help you when it comes to dropping time frames. A lot of the times it's easy to get caught up, confused, and where price is at right now. On our higher time frames, when we come to our smaller time frames, it can be hard to really understand what's happening and not to get lost in the sauce, I like to say. All right, so it's important to break it down step by step. Okay, so like I said, we have price right now going from this low and it's now moving into a high. Now, of course, this is my monthly time frame, so I'm not, all of this data here is not too important to me actually day trading, but it is necessary to know, so that I do have a picture or idea of where I'm looking for market to go. Okay, so let's zoom into this price going from this low to this high. And this is where I'm gonna, really start to pay attention to. Okay, so on our monthly time frame, we see we got about 12 days left. We're about halfway through April. December 12, January, March, April. So we like second quarter. It's like first month of the second quarter. My math might be off, excuse me, but listen, if you ain't been working yet, now is the time. Take this as a message to get up and do the things that you know you can do. That power, that purpose, that motivation, that drive, that take it and 10x it, bro. Just 10x everything. But looking at this, we got 12 days left on the month. But we can see, right, just zooming in here, we can see our monthly time frame. Let's go ahead and take this off. Now, before I do that, what I do want to do, I'm going to make this box green. Okay, this box here, I'm gonna make it green. This is our monthly uptrend, right? So price going from this low to this high, this is going to be our monthly uptrend. And I'm just going to make this box around it green so that we know that, okay, once we start dropping time frames, we know our higher time frame is in the uptrend, okay, which is this green box. That green is going to indicate to us market is buying. All right, so just looking at this, let's take a look at what's happening on our monthly. I'm going to take these markups off that I have on here already, and I'll fill them in for you guys once we get there. Okay, so looking at this here on our monthly, now I could take this off because I know, okay, that's our higher time frame. Now let's look at what we're, what market is actually doing right now. We have what? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, price broke, and now it's moving to the upside. Okay. Something I want to point out, right? This kind of consolidation that was happening, not last month, but the month before, so February. Well, it says it right here actually. So from June to February, price seems to be in a bit of a range, right? And now we're seeing price begin to break out. What is that? Okay, what exactly is that was happening there? Really quickly, right? We can see, just to give you all a little hint, we have this double bottom, and we see that, let's make this a different color so we can see it better. Right, we have this double bottom. Now, when it comes to a double bottom, understand that this, the middle of this double bottom, or this W, right, that middle point is called the neckline. Okay, you can consider this a supply zone, right, because we saw price drop from here, right, but this is also the neckline of this actual pattern. So when price got back to this level, right, it wanted to continue, but it was getting caught at this level, right, which is why we see this range happening here, right, rejection, 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 until what? last month in March, price was able to go ahead and break through that zone. Okay, so now we're seeing what we're seeing is market moving in this uptrend, right? So with that being said, now I want to start to pay attention to these actual candles, right? Inside of this uptrend, what are these candles doing? What are these, candles telling me about this uptrend? So here we saw this in March, right? We saw this candle break through, but we could see kind of some wicks attached to the bottom of this candle and the top of this candle, right? So basically what those wicks means is just areas where price did not want to be at the time, right? So price attempted to push up. It didn't want to be up there. Buyers didn't have enough momentum to continue to push that market higher. So what happened? It came back down and closed, okay? And now this month, April, we see what? Price filled this wick. And now we even see, right, if I zoom in a little bit more, we can see this month is now breaking this previous high that was created last month. Okay, so market is in a nice bullish trend as we begin to drop, right? So let's drop down to our weekly and take more of a look at that. I'll highlight this really quickly just so we can see it, right? I'm just going to highlight this candle here. Okay, so once we drop, we'll be able to see that. So let's drop to our weekly and take a look at that, right? So what do we see on that candle? We saw what? I'll move this a little bit. So we saw market pushed up, right? Attempted to push up, and then we had this zone here, right? Zones are very, very important. Okay, so this was a supply zone that we had to the left of price. Okay, now why is that supply zone important? Supply and demand zones tell you when potential buyers or sellers could be looking to come into the market, right? So when you're looking at supply zones, they're telling you, all right, this area here, we see the reason I consider this a supply zone, right? We saw price was at this area, and then we see this huge drop in price. Okay, which means what? Around this area here, right, around the highs that price made, I know when price reaches this level again, it's a good chance that sellers, right, are going to come into this market and push this market down, right, because this is a seller's zone. So when we come back to the zone to the right, and we see what? Price approached this purple zone. I want y'all to pay attention. Please, please catch this. Catch this, okay? What do we see? We see price close right below that box, and then what? The next week, we saw what? Price attempt to push through that box, right? But this is a supply zone, an area where sellers are coming into the market. All right, so all this did was created a wick. Okay, but what did our higher time frames tell us? Our higher time frames told us what? We're looking for price. Price is in an uptrend, okay? So even though this is a potential seller zone, right? All that's telling us is to keep in mind that, okay, there's a good chance that sellers can come into this market at this point, but overall, it should be breaking through this zone, right? Because my higher time frames told me price should be breaking through the zone, all right? So that's what we're looking at. Looking at this week, right? So this is kind of where we want to really start getting into the nitty of things and what's really happening. What can we really execute on right now? Okay, so we had, let's zoom out a little bit. We had price create a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now price is moving its way to the upside to create a new high. Okay, price is looking to create a new high. So what I'm looking for, right? Where could price, buy to before it, before that high, we can say that high will be complete, right? So we know last structure that price made was a low, right? So from a low, what happens after a low? After price creates a low, it has to create a new high, right? So where could that new high potentially cap at, right? So where could, sellers potentially look to come into the market to say, all right, this high is done. We need to do a retest, a pullback, something before we continue moving to the upside. What do you guys think as far as everything that I just went over? What is something that could indicate to me where sellers could be looking to come into the market at? Y'all let me know. supply zones, right? Supply zones, remember, is those areas where potential sellers could be looking to come into the market. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and highlight my next strong supply zone. Okay, so I'm gonna go from wick to body. And if you guys are unfamiliar with how to draw in actual, supply and demand zones, make sure y'all are just stay on the lookout, because the course is coming very soon. The course is coming very, very soon. All right, but as we can see here, this was a nice little drop of price. So this is a potential area where sellers could possibly look to come into the market. Okay, and this is a weekly zone, which is going to be pretty strong. Okay, so now looking at this, something that I want to see for myself, y'all probably saw me do it already, is from this previous low to this high. How many pips was that? That was about 2,000 pips, right? We can see it says 2,542. Right, so that's 2,542 pips before price did this pullback. Okay, as of right, and not to say that it's going to be exactly the same, but just looking at where price is at right now, price has only moved about 1,500 pips. Okay, so do you think it will be unrealistic for price to push into this next zone, which is what? 2,000, about 2,000 pips. Okay, which is similar to this last move that was created here. Something else I'm keeping in mind, right? This move was 2,500 pips, right? But now we were actually able to break our neckline, and now we're moving up, right? So moving into this next zone here, right, we're probably going to be gaining some momentum. We can see these candles are getting pretty strong over here, right, as price is moving to the upside. All right, so now I have my monthly time frame giving me bullish vibes or indications, and I also have my weekly giving me bullish indications. Now this is where we want to pay attention, right, because this is like what we're actually going to be trading now, our daily charts, right? If you're day trading, your daily chart is what you're going to be looking at on the daily to figure out, okay, where could price be doing today, right? So if I'm looking at this, I can see that we're in an uptrend, right? And this last week was very bullish. Okay, so last week, the week of, today is the 16th, so the week of the 9th, we saw this, the 9th, the week of the 9th, we saw this made a nice bullish candle, right? So moving into this week, I would think price is going to continue that bullish move, right? This is a nice strong candle. Bulls are, controlling the market. I'm looking for price to continue moving up. Okay, let's drop to our daily and take a look. Okay, so looking at our daily, right? Like I said, this is where we our higher time frame told us that price is going up. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So we're looking for, bull market. Okay, but now looking at our daily time frame, this is where we kind of get into the nitty at. Okay, what price is really going to be looking to do on our daily time frame? This is another trend that we're looking at. Okay, so we have price K to low, high, higher low, and now price is at a high. So price can continue moving up, or it can pull back to create a low, right? A new low before it continues to the upside. So just looking at this, it looks like price is pretty high right now. Okay, and notice here this black black zone that I have here, right? Those are my daily zones. Okay, those are my daily zones. So if I go again to the left to figure out what me going to the left, what am I looking for? You let me know. If I'm going to the left, right? Price is already buying. What do I need to know? If price is already buying, what do I need to know? Exactly, right? I need to know when potential sellers could be looking to come into this market, right? So where could potential sellers be looking to come into this market is going to be at what? A supply zone, right? Supply, sell, supply, sell. So if I move to the left, I see what? Okay. Zone, right? We see this high was created and we saw this dip off, right? So this is going to be a daily zone, okay? Daily zone, an area where potential sellers could come into this market, right? So looking at this price is at this daily zone right now, okay? Price is at this zone right now. So what I want to see is if, you know, price is able to break through the zone, right? And just continue moving up, or if it'll reject the zone, right? Possibly give us a retest or pullback and then to continue, right? Because our higher time frames told us what? We're looking for the continuation. All right, but it's just a matter of when, you know, that price is going to continue moving to the upside. All right, so looking at this daily, that's what we want to pay attention to, right? Is this zone here to see, all right, if price is going to break through that zone, or if we're going to get that rejection for price to do some sort of pullback and then continue moving to the upside. Okay, perfect. Now let's drop and see what our 4 hour is looking like. Okay, I'm gonna leave those on there and then I'm gonna go to my 4 hour. So now looking here, you see price created a high, low, higher, high. Okay, so now looking at this, my 4 hour, this is what I'm looking at as I'm trading, right? As I'm trading, I'm looking at my 4 hour daily to see, you know, what price is doing right now. What can I execute on price as of right now? And what do we see on our 4 hour? From this low to this high, all of this was priced in a uptrend, right? All of this is from this low to this high is all priced in an uptrend, right? If you don't believe me, we see this high, low, higher, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay? Structure, structure, structure. Structure, structure, structure. If you don't understand structure, please, please, please watch this video, rewatch it 5 times if you have to. But structure is very, very important when it comes to trading, especially when you're using various time frames, right? You have to be able to understand what's what, and where you are on the market, in the market, as you start dropping those time frames. Okay, so now what I'm looking at here is, and please understand, I'm doing this analysis as I go. So if you guys do hear me pause a little bit, I'm just analyzing and, you know, looking at what's happening. But looking at this price here, right, we could see we have, you know, these big impulse moves, these pushes to the upside, and then we have these pullbacks. Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to is the momentum of these candles. Okay, the momentum of these candles, because that's what's going to tell you, you know, if this price is really moving, if it's not, when a pullback maybe potentially about to happen, pay attention to momentum of the candles. Now, how do you know how much momentum a candle has? How much, you know, strength does it have? You want to pay attention to the candle sizes. Okay, so if we can see here, we see pretty big bullish candles here, right? Pretty nice size bullish candles. Okay, then we see these pullbacks are pretty weak, which tells us what? Sellers don't really have momentum in this market, but price has to pull back, you know, in order for buyers to gain momentum to continue pushing to the upside. Okay, so we saw this pullback, and then what? We still see some nice bullish candles coming in here. Then we see a pullback. Notice this last bullish push that price made. Okay, I believe this was probably Thursday, Friday. More towards the end of the week, right? But notice this last bullish push that price made, right? Price didn't really go too far. These candles are pretty small compared to these over here, right? Pretty small. Doesn't appear to be too much momentum. Why could that be? Right? Remember, we had this zone here, right? Our daily zone that price was tapping into. So what could we possibly be looking for at that zone? What did we say? A sell, right? So, and that also goes to conforms with what we're seeing, right? We see these candles losing momentum. Okay, so we can say, all right, there could be a potential pullback coming. This is adding up, right? It makes sense for a potential pullback to happen here. All right. Now, but like I said, even though this momentum is slowing down, could just be because of the zone. Price could come and still very much push through this zone, right? But what I would think what happened, right, was this higher time frame markup that we already saw kind of on our higher time frames, right? Price carried a high, low, higher high, and now it's about that time for a pullback, right? We running into our daily zones. It's about time for price to do a pullback so that it can go and continue moving to the upside. Okay, these the size of these candles just about corresponds with that. Okay, so what I'll be looking for is the potential pullback here, and then for price to then go ahead and, you know, break out this level and continue moving to the upside. And that's honestly about it, right? So as far as when it comes to analyzing, okay, so now what comes into play is actually taking positions in this market, right? What do you actually, where are you actually looking to get into this market? What is this structure that I'm seeing? What is it telling me about, you know, the market and where market currently is? So me personally, what I like to do is I like to use my 4-hour structure to tell me if I'm buying or selling, and then I use my hour structure to say, okay, should I take a trade today or not? Okay, so just looking at this structure, what we're looking at, right? 4-hour time frame was in an uptrend, right? So it's giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay. So what I'll be looking for, right? What I'll be looking for, um, knowing a uptrend structure. Okay, we have a low, right? We have our previous low and we have our previous high that was created. Okay, I won't say this high because this high is technically still en route. Okay, there was no high actually created here yet, right? So what I'll be looking for is high. What I'll be looking at is my high and my low. Okay, so I know if price is in an uptrend, my lows, my previous low cannot be broken. Okay, if price is in an uptrend, my previous low cannot be broken. Why? If price breaks my previous low, we're no longer in an uptrend, right? That just that says that our structure has been broken. Okay, so what I'll be looking for, I'll draw this line in here, and this will be my 4-hour break of structure. Okay, so as long as price doesn't sell past this level, we're still technically in the uptrend. Okay, as long as price does not sell past this swing low, we are technically still in an uptrend. Okay, so price can sell as low as to here, right, and then bounce off of there and continue up. As long as we don't see price break through that level, we're still in the uptrend. Okay, next thing I'll be looking at as far as my structure is going to be my previous high. Okay, my previous high, which is here. Okay, so I'll just write that in. 4 hour. Okay, and what this high is going to tell me is price continuing, right? So if we get a break of our previous swing high, right, that tells us what? Price is now going to make a higher high, right? Price is moving in the direction to make a higher high. So price is moving to make a higher high. Pay attention, right? Pay attention to these things. So now I have my 4-hour high. If I see price break this level, I'm looking for a continuation, right? I'm looking for a 4-hour continuation. All right, so now when it comes to me actually looking to take positions, I know when it comes to me actually taking positions on my hour time frame, I already kind of have a range or a structure of what I'm looking at, right? I know price can't break this level, and I know if price breaks this level, it's most likely continuing. Okay, so let's drop down to our hour and look at, you know, some of these executions and where we could be looking to actually get into the market. So now, like we said, for the most part, we're probably looking for price to come back and do some sort of retest here, right? At this zone, hit this zone, we could be seeing a retest happen here, and then for it to continue. Right, to pull back, right? But what we did see, what I do want us to note is that price did break this high. Okay, price did break our 4-hour swing high. Okay, so for the most part, we're probably going to continue, right? But what we could see is a retest, right? That retest that we were looking for on our higher time frames. Price to break back above that 4-hour continuation line and make that move to the upside, right? So that's what I'm looking at for GBPJPY on the week of April 17th. Man, today is Easter. We got a valid week coming up. Hope you guys, really took something from this video. I feel like I did cover a good amount of topics and concepts. If it's something that you didn't get, please go back and re-watch it. And really try to just take in all of that sauce, because I really just gave y'all some sauce. No funny. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for GBPJPY. Like I said before, if y'all haven't yet, make sure y'all go ahead and join the Discord. I dropped my weekly analysis in the Discord. Not the video, right? The video is here, but on the Discord, you'll be able to see, right, pictures of my charts, as well as a written description of what I'm looking at on GJ and what I think will be happening next. So make sure y'all go ahead and tap into that as well. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you learned one thing from this video, if you gained one thing from this video, if my analysis lined up with yours, regardless of your strategy that you use, we're looking at the same type of thing, any of that good stuff, go ahead and hit the subscription button. Drop a comment for me. Let me know what y'all think. And I'm ready to for everybody to make some profits. I'm ready to see y'all profits. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, let's just keep going. Like I said, it's April. We in the second quarter of the year. Consistency and discipline. Stick to it, man. Just stick to it. This can become very simple once you put the work in. And I don't want to say it's simple, because it definitely takes time, right? Especially starting off, from scratch, from nothing, just trying to figure it out. It definitely takes time, but believe me, it's well worth it. So that's what I got for y'all this week. Make sure y'all tap in with me, stay up, and I catch y'all next week. Love.